Coaches, Thomas here from MyCoach Ai, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about running upsells. It can absolutely be worth your time, can be super effective and absolutely worth it, unless of course you are not converting enough people, or if you are spending way too much time messaging people, following up on them, sending them resources, trying to get them to engage with your upsell in the first place, and by doing so, you are not converting enough people into that upsell, then of course it is not worth your time. So I want to show you today how the MyCoach AI system helps you with both of those parts. First of all, running them effectively, so it's not a constant manual process of follow-ups and sending resources and just having this a little bit more automated. And number two, making your upsells more engaging when you go to present them, which of course will help with conversion. So let's quickly go over those two things. Now, we have something in the system called forms. This is a really useful tool. If we go to the library section here, we find our forms section, and forms are used for a lot of different things, from onboarding to feedback forms and different type of things, but as well, it is highly useful for running your upsells. We actually have different types of payment requests within the system. Some are mandatory and some are not. Some are designed specifically for you to run certain upsells. But the reason we do it through the forms feature has to do with one of those two aspects that I just mentioned, or actually it has to do with both, because forms can both be automated on client schedules, on programs, and so forth. And number two, they can be essentially decorated with different videos and text elements and all kinds of different things to make your upsell a lot more engaging. If you inform your clients well about it, the chances go up that they actually engage with it. And one last very important part is that once forms prompt, clients absolutely have to go through them. All of the steps are mandatory. And that's of course great for your upsells because yes, you don't want to make it a step where it locks them out of their account if they don't buy your upsell. It is still optional, but you do want to really force people to go at least through the information and determine it's not for them, and even consider the upsell in the first place, right? So here's an example of how an upsell form could look in MyCoach AI. I have an upsell form here, a super simple one, but just to show you the basics, called upsell for a nutrition webinar. So this one is specifically, say you're running an online Zoom webinar on nutrition. And it just has 3 super simple steps on it, but can still be highly effective. So essentially, the steps that you can add to the form are not limited to questions and these type of things. Like I mentioned before, you can add a bunch of your own media. And very importantly for this method is you can request upsells directly on here. Now, the only difference between request an upsell and request a payment is that requesting a payment through forms is completely mandatory. The client cannot go to the next steps in the form or finish the form for that matter unless they actually make that payment. Requesting upsells works a little bit differently. Clients do have the ability to skip that step. And of course, you get an opportunity to explain a little bit about why your client should actually buy that upsell, which is really useful. Now, in the example of this form, we start off with a plain text. So this is just a text element that we add. The form first prompts for the client. They see exactly what it is that you are going to tell them about. They see the step and then go to the next one, which actually will switch these around right here, because the second step, we have a video, a really much more engaging way to get clients to kind of engage with your upsell and hear what you have to say. So they first get introduced with a quick text, and then they go into a video of you telling them what you are going to be doing, for example, here with this nutrition workshop, and why they should attend. And then the third step after they've received this information is when you present the actual upsell. Like I said, you create a non-mandatory payment step right on here, where you also once again get some opportunity to add some additional information. And that's where the client, after having seen your information that you presented, gets the opportunity to buy this upsell and complete the form in that way. Of course, they still have the ability to skip this step and they're back into their account. They're no longer logged out, but you first make sure that they go through these pieces of information and actually consider your upsell. And that's the most important part here of why we do things this way with our forms feature. So that's an example of how an upsell form could look. Now, the second part, right? Because it has to do with making it a bit decorative and making it more engaging, increasing the chances that people will actually buy your upsell. But the second part of making it as automated as possible. is as follows. Well, number one, you already see it here. You combine a few things so you don't have to manually, combine different resources, send someone a video, send someone an email separately. We don't necessarily want to do that. What we want to do instead is utilize this form in a lot of different ways. Now, as you may already know, if you are using MyCoach Ai, that once you have forms, you can just specifically go to any client, go to their metrics section, and just request a form in the very moment. So I can just send out that upsell at any time to any client. That's already pretty quick and easy to do. But a way to make it even more automated is leveraging this on things like programs. This is extremely useful. So when we have our programs feature, and it's of course in somewhat of a calendar view, imagine that you have a certain program where 30 clients are running at it at the same time, or maybe you run even a challenge. Maybe you even run a 2-week free trial. Whatever it may be, you may have that built out into a calendar view of a program. So you have multiple people assigned to this, going through this, and then what you can do is add this form that we have just created and automation the prompt on a certain day. And that is then going to happen with any client at any time who is on that program. So if I want to make a program where on day number 21, whoever reaches day number 21, I'm going to go to the plus button, go down until I find add form, and then I'm going to find that upsell nutrition webinar form. Now, what this will do is as soon as that day number 21 rolls around, so anyone who gets to that point on their app, automatically this form will prompt the very next time they log in. They can't just hit an X and click out of it. They have to actually go through the steps. So you highly increase the chances of them engaging with the information and potentially buying the upsell. But what you're now doing is automating this process. So rather than you keeping up with who's on what day of a program, who do I need to send an upsell opportunity, who am I going to send a video then and follow up with them then, all of that stuff you can just do by automating it directly on a program. Even things around this. So the form prompts here, great. If we want to add an automated message, maybe the day before that, it's like, hey, automated message through our smart actions, send auto message at say 9 a.m. And we're going to tell them right here that, hey, tomorrow I'm going to send you something, a really cool opportunity that I'm excited about. Make sure you check it out properly. That's it. You send it to them the day before and then the day after that form prompts. Maybe even if they don't buy the upsell, what you want to do is send a follow-up message a couple days later. So the Tuesday after that, on the 24th, you add another auto message in the same way we did this one. But this time reminding them like, hey, if you're still interested and you didn't buy in yet, just shoot me a message and we can still get you in. Something in that direction, right? So you can see how you can automate all these parts so you don't spend endless hours following up with people, sending out emails and videos and kind of just checking in who is going to buy my upsell. If you spend that much time on it and you don't close them as a result, it is not worth your time. But if you use these type of features to automate the process of running your upsells, as well as just making the upsells way more engaging with videos, descriptions, and just good flows for your clients to get this information, you increase the likelihood that you will get more people buying into your upsell and make it worth your while. Because absolutely, it can be worth your while. Okay, hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next ones. And if you want to learn more about MyCoach Ai, go click a link in the description because we have some more information to share with you guys on our website. See you in the next one.